All right, so the adventure of the day is now finished. We are finishing up way ahead of time, or not way ahead of time, but like it's about 10 p.m. now, so it's not midnight, which is really, really good. And I guess that's what I mean by ahead of time. It's finishing on time, I suppose. Maybe a little late, actually, but I managed to script the first draft of my video, my main video for Japan, just to finish and close it off, tell the story of how I felt during my experience. Not necessarily all the details, but just the big picture of things. And I feel pretty happy with it. At first, I was gonna make sort of like a recording. I was gonna record this while scripting it and just talking out loud, just expressing my thoughts so that I could clear it up and organize it. But when I tried that, I actually have a separate recording, but I'm not gonna upload it because it ended up me being like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I started scripting, and then it was just pure quietness. I just continuously wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. I already haven't had an outline, so I sort of had an idea of where I wanted to head towards. And it ended up being me just telling a good amount of my feelings and thoughts regarding my trip and the experience. Not even the like lessons or the like changes necessarily, but just the story. And I feel like that is what I prefer. Because at least for this video, it's not about the lessons necessarily, but it's about me getting to finally express my thoughts, my processed thoughts and feelings, and sort of where I'm at now as well. And I think that's the most important thing about this video. It's gonna be the final video, well, the final one before the video where I change the channel name. And I still have yet to script that video. I kind of wanted to do that today as well, but I'll likely just do it tomorrow. I think for that one, I don't need to rush it. I could even do it on Sunday or Saturday, because I think at least for this Japan video, a lot of it is going to be using the B-roll from previous or from my trip. So it's going to be pretty easy since I've been organizing the B-roll quite well. So I really think I can finish it tomorrow. And then for the end of Dreamlit video, that's going to be probably done on Saturday. We're getting things moving, and that seriously feels good. This has been something on the list of things to do for a month or two now, maybe longer, possibly 3. So I'm spending this week to actually get it done, and it only takes a week, possibly only truly 2 days, because if I'm gonna be real, I didn't need to do any of the other Japan videos. Those ones were mainly just for fun, and I didn't really, I'm not that invested in them. But for this one, I am, because it's a really, really big experience, and I want to share the feelings. And I think something about sharing the feelings and expressing them, it's way harder to do that in public, in a shared space, compared to just saying like, oh, this is how you sign up for a share house, or, oh, you know, this is what I wish I knew before I signed up for the share house. Like, that stuff is easy. It's so easy to just collect knowledge, organize it, and deliver it. But when it comes to expressing my feelings on the whole experience, it's like significantly harder, despite the fact that the fact that I journal, you know, and I've been expressing my feelings quite frequently on this audio journal as well, which is why I thought, like, you know, doing this audio journal or doing this podcast episode, which is essentially my audio journal at this point, I would clear up my ideas and know how to script and know what to say and everything like that. But I didn't need it. You know, I've done written journaling for a very, very long time, like 9 years or so. So it figures that I didn't need to talk out loud. Like, I've typed a lot of my thoughts for a very long time, like I said. So that's good to know that I still have that in me. It felt like a journal, actually. It felt like a journal where I, you know, said, have in mind that I'm telling other people things. So I don't want to be like too detailed with certain things. But yeah, it truly does feel good to finally, I guess, get these ideas and thoughts and feelings on paper, knowing that I will be sharing it with the main channel soon. Like, it feels like I've made some sort of breakthrough. The other videos were just videos, you know, I just made them. But this is almost like I get the feeling PSA, public announcement, sort of. I don't know why that comes to mind, but it's like a true update, basically. A true update of where I'm at, where my headspace is, what I've been up to, and even more so than the I'm back from California thing. It's partially similar, but like this one is, I guess it's more meaningful because it's on the main channel and I know where my main channel is heading. And a lot of where it's heading and why it's going to be the way it is because of the catalyst of me going to Japan and everything. So yeah, but all in all, the adventure of today was completed, scripting that video. I would have liked to have done more, to be honest, but I consider like the organization of the B-roll to actually be more or less a distraction. I know it's something I need to do and something that I want organized, but it's like one of those things where you don't have to do it, you know? But I guess a part of me will never feel comfortable looking at my hard drive with that footage unorganized. So it has to happen at a certain point. Might as well do it when I'm going to use the footage, which is for this video. So yeah, maybe I'll do a series before I go to sleep. There's just so much footage to look over, like thousands, literally thousands. I think 2,000 total. But other than the primary adventure, our piano adventure, because honestly, at this point, that's taking up as much time as this project adventure. I did more research. I ended up doing more research than expected because there is this like course that I went through a long time ago, and I just picked it back up, and it talks about, you know, ear training and all that stuff. And there's more stuff than I anticipated. And like, I guess back then I just never finished the course, and I still haven't finished it, but I definitely got through a lot more of it. And I think part of me can understand how to proceed better, how to move forward better with playing by ear after watching it. I do think it makes a whole lot more sense now compared to back then. I think back then I might have skimmed a little bit. Either that or I just know more now and understand more and feel more regarding like being able to hear things musically. So that's good. And yeah, just a lot of time spent towards that. I need to actually get to practicing though, because I did practice today actually, just playing by ear and recording myself doing it. And it does feel like I'm improving. So I think that's on its way. I just got to keep it up now. Yeah, I think that experience goes to show that the research phase is very important. I think 1 to 2 days can be enough to get started, but if you want to see the full picture, it might take a bit more time. But of course, I'm not like spending all my time on it, so it is possible to do it in 1 to 2 days if it's like the main thing, I'd say. But from what I've gathered, I have a path forward, and I think thanks to the fact that I've practiced on my own, like flailing around, like I said, just not exactly knowing what to do, what the proper steps are, I'm actually more advanced than I should be, I suppose, if I had followed the steps, although I took a weird path and I am missing some foundation, so I need to go back as well. But yeah, I can do some of the more advanced things without being able to do some of the more foundational things. It's kind of weird, but I suppose it's not that weird. There's many ways to get to a certain skill, so I just took a weird route. Anyways, good to know, do the research ahead of time. That is very, very important. Like, don't just practice consistently without like instruction or knowing what you're doing or knowing if what you're doing is effective or efficient. It's a good idea to figure that out, to figure out what's efficient and effective. Wish I would have told myself that like 60 days ago, because that's pretty much how long I've been playing by ear, which honestly, it's not a bad thing, because I do think like just the act of trying to do the thing that you want to do does still help. And that's probably why I picked up some random skills that are beyond foundational. Either way, that's the past, can't change it. So now I'm going to just do my best to practice as efficiently and effectively as possible. And then regarding the push-ups and pull-ups, we are so close to finishing. I think it's just 6 more days total. Yeah, 6 more days total. And once I'm done, I'll be glad, because my muscles have been kind of spasming recently. I think for the past 2 days, like yesterday and the day before, I could feel it. And it does not feel good. Like, it feels like I should definitely rest, but I still want to just finish the challenge. So today I kind of took it easy and split up the reps by quite a lot, so I wouldn't put too much strain or fatigue on my muscles, basically. And I do feel like overall that did help. So just gotta be careful and play it safe. I don't want to hurt myself before the 30 days finishes. This isn't exactly, I find it kind of strange how like just 22 days in a row, and I'm totally overall like not bad, fine. Some days I had to push it, but like, I guess there were some certain days where I kind of worried about my forearm hurting. But I don't know, it just feels like now that the end is coming, I have to be more careful, especially since this is a physical thing and it's like, it's building up. Like the fatigue on my body is building up. So I need to be careful. Honestly, not the smartest challenge, but it's a challenge that I issued for myself, and I'm going to try my best to see it to the end, even if it's not necessarily the smartest thing. I still think it's fine. Like, I don't think, if I actually thought that I would seriously injure myself, of course I would stop. But I think as long as I do what I did today, like it'll be fine. Just gotta stretch more, I think. Anyways, at this point, I feel like I don't really need to talk too much about the stay clear of entertainment, no distractions habit. That seems to be just a given. It really, really does seem extremely easy to accomplish, especially in this more motivated state as well. Like it doesn't feel like I even have time to do it. So yeah, it's not hard, not hard at all. It's hard to start for sure, and it was a struggle to start as well. But I think once you get it going, like 10 days or so in, like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly when it just happened and clicked. Like it just, like even on the days where I was angry with myself a while back, I still didn't fully get rid of it. And this is why I do these audio journals, so then I can look back at it. So I gotta find out what exactly was the catalyst to it. Okay, so I just looked at my journal, and the reason why I decided to start was because I watched way too much YouTube during one of those weeks. Like my brain was just like so distracted, and I was just so unproductive that I was like, this has to stop. Like it just has to, otherwise I'm doomed. Like I'll never get anything done if I continue like that. So yeah, I remember very well after looking specifically at that journal entry. I still make notes in regular journals. So even though I do this really in-depth audio journal daily, or at least almost daily now, I still write down like some notes in my regular journal. It's kind of interesting to see how my regular journal is now just like a bunch of bullet points with notes of what happened and a few thoughts, compared to back then where it was like paragraphs upon paragraphs of what happened in detail and thoughts and stuff like that. I kind of miss it, but I think, it's a new phase of me doing this. Once there are more events, I think it'll be more fun to actually do the journals about those events and tell more stories for these audio journals as well, not just my thoughts and how I'm doing regarding my projects. But yeah, that seems to be everything. Today was also an extremely hot day, like 110 degrees or something, Fahrenheit. So that's pretty crazy. That hardly happens. Sometimes it goes over 100, but 110 in California? Yeah, it's not great. Anyways, everything seems to be running smoothly for the most part. I'm gonna finish this off so I can sleep and then wake up early and try to run. That's the one thing that isn't going so well. The fact that it's so hot means I have to wake up early to actually run. And even when I wake up early, it's gonna be 80 degrees Fahrenheit because I looked it up. And that's insane, because that's the coolest it's gonna get. Like throughout the middle of the night, all the way up until the sun rises, and then it's gonna get even higher. Like that's the lowest. So that is just crazy. But I still need to do it because I haven't ran in like a good 3 days, I think, because of the fact that I've just been up late doing video stuff. So I'm not gonna do it. I said it earlier that I might just do another series of clips and edit them together, but no, I think that's a terrible idea. I should sleep and wake up at freaking 6 so I can run. Okay, I lied. The lowest temperature is 76, not 80. But then it, like within the next hour, it becomes 80. So yeah, that time window, I have to do it, because 76 is definitely way more bearable than 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Either way, still very hot for like the lowest temperature. So yeah, that's the only thing that I really need to get my act together with, is the running, because yeah, I feel kind of like fat. I know I'm not fat, but like my belly feels kind of like fatter than usual. And usually the running helps with that a lot. Okay, that's enough for this one. Let's keep it up. Tomorrow we'll finish off the main Japan video and really get things moving, finally.